Hello everyone, this is Miranda Campos, and today we are doing a rhetorical analysis of Coca-Cola's 2018 sustainability report. We will start by analyzing the page layout of the report. So we come to the first page and we see kind of 3 columns of information. Each of these columns of information is laid out in a way that tells you that they are 3 different bits of information, but they all pertain to the same overall topic. So the space is utilized very well. The placement is also a key factor. The placement in these columns are easily read. There is sort of a subtopic between the Coca-Cola company and the Coca-Cola system. So as far as efficiency goes, I would have liked to see maybe the Coca-Cola company at the top of the page and then underneath that, then the Coca-Cola system, just because it can be a little confusing when digesting the information. But overall, the information is there and it's pretty efficient. We go on to the next page and we look at the same thing, utilization of space, and there's actually quite a bit of space left on the page. We see a visual of a graph, but it's kind of small. I would have made it bigger and really use that page to make my point. And again, the placement of it, I get that it's in the middle, but I would have liked to see it just a little bit bigger. So I would say on this particular page, the efficiency is not all there. Throughout the report, there's a lot of information to digest, and it seems like every page has many, many, many paragraphs of all related information, but it just seems a little bit much on each page. This particular page that I posted on the slide does have a lot of different paragraphs. Again, all relevant information, but it's just a little overwhelming. As far as the actual language that's used throughout the report, it is very simple and to the point. You know what the company is saying. There aren't, big words involved. Here's another example of a very loaded page. It has a lot of text, a lot of different bullet points. The information is all very understandable. It's just explaining what the company's goals are. As we see throughout the report, a lot of the wording or the meaning or the message is just put on there. For example, goal number 1, end poverty in all its forms anywhere. By 2030, build the resilience of the poor and those in vulnerable situations and reduce their exposure and vulnerability. That's all just basic wording that's easily understood. And we see that throughout the report. So it's very easy for any audience to really understand what this company is saying. The next category we analyze would be the visuals of the report. This particular page is showing the different drinks that are categorized. For example, sparkling soft drinks, and you see all the sodas, tea and coffee, and you see the Honest Tea, Gold Peak teas and coffees. That way you understand what the specific page and overall the report is trying to tell you. It is very effective. I like this next page a lot because of the different graphs. These specific visuals are there so that you can visibly see maybe the growth of the company or their sustainability goals and what growth they've attained in the last years. So it is very effective looking at it instead of just looking at numbers. We move on to credibility and research. I put these two together because they kind of go hand in hand. In order for a lot of reports to be credible, you're looking for some kind of research or some kind of background information that's valid. So we're going to start by looking at their trustworthiness. Again, that involves the use of research. On this first page, we can see the company is talking about the packaging and how much of it is now recyclable. They talk about having new data that's available to them. And at the end of this page, it says in little fine print, our percentage calculations of progress toward collection of 100% of the equivalent of the consumer packaging we sell has been internally vetted using relevant and scientific technological methodologies. So you can see that they have done their own research. Now, what I am missing from actually a lot of the information throughout this report is an actual reference to the exact research that they pull from. But as we go to the next page, you see that the company is pulling information from UN Water way down here at the bottom, like the information 2.1 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water services. A lot of these facts are pulled from valid websites, so you do trust the information that is being relayed to you. But again, what's missing from a lot of the information that they put out about their own data and their own research that they've collected, they've actually not included that specific research to back up their information. Next, we move on to persuasion. So the overall report is talking about what their sustainability goals are and how they hope to achieve it. They also put out how they are already achieving their sustainability goals. Right here on this specific page, we see different sustainability goals that they've set: carbon, giving back, water, women, and then the numbers or percentages that are associated with each goal for each year. So you can visibly see how it increases every year, which is obviously how they show that their goals are being met. So Coca-Cola's goal with this report is to establish their sustainability goals and also show what they've already been accomplishing with their sustainability goals. The overall page layout is pretty easily read. They make use of their space and it's pretty efficient. The text is a little bit too much on each page, but the information itself is very easily read. It's not too formal, but it's not informal either. As far as visuals go, there are great visuals allowing you to see exactly what they're talking about and what specific products they're talking about. As far as credibility goes, I would have still liked to seen a little bit more of their own research, or even just cite their own research to maybe pull up on a web page. But unfortunately, it seems like you just have to rely on what they're telling you. Now, there is some information as far as statistics go that they do pull from credible sources and they do cite that information. So it is very easy to trust that sort of information that they have relayed. But again, I would have still liked to see their own data presented maybe at the end of the report or just linked in somehow. The persuasion, of course, was to show you that they are meeting their sustainability goals and they're furthering those goals for upcoming years. A lot of their persuasion relied on visuals, meaning graphs and numbers presented, not so much just text. Again, it seemed for every individual sustainability goal that they mentioned, they had either a graph or a number or a percentage showing you, what their numbers were for previous years and how these numbers have grown. So it's pretty obvious that they are letting us know that they are meeting sustainability and creating new goals for the future. So overall, it was a very informational report. It could have been a little bit more effective in how they displayed the information and using, again, their data effectively or more effectively. I think overall the report is an effective report in what it is trying to relay and what message it's trying to relay.